Today we're going to get right into it and work on a chord shape that I like to call the magic G. Now this chord shape has been responsible for thousands and thousands of great songs and hits, and it's based on a G shape. It just adds one extra note, and it's just a little different than your typical G grab. Typically a student will be taught to grab the G with their middle finger up here on the first string at 3, their index finger on the second string at 2, and the ring finger down here. As a beginner, you're taught this a lot, I've seen over the years. I will typically start a beginner off with the ring finger, middle finger, and pinky, which is a little more difficult, but it sets you up for playing with the C and G chords and the E minor and a lot of progressions with this grab. I also have something called the easy G, where you just grab the low string with your thumb and your ring finger over here, and you get a nice G chord. But today we're going to do something a little bit different with the G chord. Again, I call this the magic G, and it starts out by taking your pinky and your ring finger and placing them on the 3rd fret. The pinky goes on the 1st string at the 3rd fret, and the ring goes on the B string at the 2nd fret. So strings 1 and 2 have the pinky and the ring finger. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go across the other side of the board and put our middle finger on the 1st low E string at the 3rd fret, G note, and then the index finger on the 2nd string, the B note. And so now we have a 6-string chord. We're going to be playing all 6 strings, and it sounds like this. It's a very beautiful sound, and that's why it's been used in dozens and dozens, if not hundreds or thousands of hit songs. Now, very nice sound, but we also get more out of this chord. We can move our middle finger and index finger down, and then we have a version of a C chord. That sounds pretty amazing too. And we can go down here and play an E minor shape with this. All the while we're keeping the pinky and the ring on strings 1 and 2, not moving. So we have the G chord, the C chord. Now while we're playing the C chord, our middle finger is going to touch this low E string to shut it off. Now we're going to, and that's a 5-string chord, the C. The G is a 6-string chord. Now we're going to switch to an E minor, all the while retaining that pinky and ring underneath there. And then we're going to go to an A, and now we're going to play 5 strings, ignoring the low E string in that case, or avoiding it. So far we've had a G with our middle finger on the G note, index on the B, a C, an E minor, and an A. We can also sneak one more chord out of this. We have an F. So we had the G, the C, now we're going to go down with the same grab for the F. Now just the 4 bottom strings. We're going to mute these 2 top strings, the E and the A string. My thumb is coming over the top, and my middle finger is touching the A string. So now when I strum, I don't have to worry about that. And there's an F. So let's play a little bit with some strumming, some down, down, up, down, up strumming, and see what this sounds like. We also have one more thing that always happens with this grab. What you'll do is you'll pivot over and turn it into a D chord. When we're doing that, we're just going to leave our ring finger in place. So we'll go back to this, and you'll see the ring finger doesn't come up, and I just make the D chord, but the pinky comes up. Goes back down when I switch to the other shapes. That's the C, the G, and I go up to the F, the A, the E minor. I'm going to get rid of the pick, And I'm going to show you something with the right hand. We're going to play in 6/8 time, which means we're going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's going to feel like a rocking ship. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3. And my right hand is going to play like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And for this exercise, I'm going to put my thumb on the low E string, my ring finger on the high E string, my middle finger on the B string, and index on the G string. And I'm just going to count 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3. It's going to be thumb, index, middle, ring, middle, index, coming right back up. And I'm going to do that with the C. The thumb is going to go down to the next string. Back to the G. Thumb comes back up on the right hand. Back to the C. E minor. Thumb comes back up. A. Thumb goes back down on the right hand. F. Thumb goes down to the D string. And then I'll turn into the D and keep that same grab with the right hand. The G magic grab. Now one more thing we can do with this. We can grab our capo and say we want to play in another key. I'm going to put the capo at 3 and now we'll end up in another key and we'll get a different sound, but the same grab at the 3rd fret from the capo, pinky and ring, and the top end of the G grab with the middle finger and the index finger. You have a whole different sound. If you haven't heard of a capo, capo is a device that clamps on the strings and shortens the scale of the guitar so the pitch goes up, but everything you do above it remains the same. So if we take an E minor chord, we just play it the same as we would on an open guitar, or a G chord, or a D chord, C chord, etc., etc. So there it is, the magic G chord, used on millions of hits, not millions, but maybe thousands of hits, because it sounds so magical.